Hey guys, a true and proven method to actually get into a home with no money down using your benefits. Stick around. What's up everybody, it's your boy Lee with 1E and welcome to the Warriors Edge channel. If we haven't met, my name is Leon Nubla. I am a recently retired law enforcement officer, a veteran of the United States Army, and a 100% rated disabled veteran. And in today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about one of the most underutilized benefits that all of us as vets, regardless of a rating level or not, do qualify for, and that is the VA Home Loan. And again, let me reemphasize that regardless if you have a disability rating or you don't, you actually qualify for this particular benefit. And it's funny because when you, and I want you guys to actually do this experiment yourself, because if you know several guys that's been in the military and they're homeowners, ask them, ask 10 guys, as a baseline, and see however many of them are actually utilizing the this particular benefit, the VA Home Loan. And you'll find that just about only half of them probably uses it or even knows about it. And it's surprising because it's a tremendous benefit that can save you a lot of money over the life of the loan, as well as when getting into a particular property. One of the best things I love about the VA Home Loan is that it is truly a pure 0%, zero down payment program, without having to use any kind of creative real estate tactics or strategies. It is truly a program designed to help get vets into homes for a zero down payment. Now again, it's going to be different for different markets in different states. Hotter markets are going to definitely require some sort of down payment to kind of sweeten the deal. But for the most part, 95% of the, or let's say about 90% of the markets around our nation, you can probably get into at a zero down payment term with this particular loan benefit. All right, so guys, let's get started by looking at what you can utilize this particular program for. Right, so the primary benefit this is designed for is to be able to get vets and also active duty members into primary residences. So you can actually utilize this benefit in this particular program to purchase investment properties or commercial properties. It is designed for you to be able to get into your primary residence. And the type of primary residences that you can buy, of course, is condos, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, right? Anything in the single family home category that you that you decide to buy, right? And whatever you do with the rest of the units, wink wink, once you purchase that and then you live in one, whether you rent that out or if you have a big family and they can help you with the mortgage or whatever it is that you're doing, you can use it for that, to purchase those types of structures. Again, not for commercial purposes or use, but you can buy up to a quadplex with this particular home loan benefit, right? You can also use it to buy condos. You can use it to purchase manufactured homes and empty lots that you're planning on building a home for. You can actually use this to build a home on top of a lot that you purchased separately, or that you purchased along, or that you purchased with the intent of building a structure on top of, right? And you can also use this particular program once you get into, let's say, an interest-only loan with the VA or with somebody else. You can use the VA Home Loan to refinance your particular mortgage into a fixed, whether it's a 15 or 30. But you can use this home loan to be able to do that if you're in a different loan program now. Okay. You can also use it to install energy improvements, right? I don't quite know how that works. Still have to look that up, but it is offered through this loan program that you can do that. Okay. Now, for every advantage, of course, there's disadvantages in this particular program. One of the biggest downsides I see is that if you like a particular brokerage, or if you have a particular realtor that you like using or that you used in the past, just make sure that they know about the program and know how to work it, because a lot of times I found that a lot of realtors and brokerages don't really touch or do a lot of the VA home loans, where then sometimes it becomes more of a drag and it takes more time to be able to get stuff done, and next thing you know, you've lost the bid, or it just they're really trying to push you into a different loan product instead of your VA home loan, right? So, that's one of the downsides for that. Another downside is it is an extra step, right? So, it's stressful enough to look for a home, to go ahead and search for the right one, make the bid, and then to only find out that, either the house is either approved by the VA or not, right? So it is, there's that extra step that you might run into as a downside for this particular loan program. Okay. Now that we talked about the disadvantages of the VA home loan program, let's talk about eligibility real quick. And so essentially, as long as you're a vet or if you're still in active duty, you qualify. If you're, a vet outside of being retired or a disabled veteran, as long as you served a total of 90 days of active duty service in that capacity, you should be able to qualify for this particular program as long as you got out in some sort of an honorable, less than honorable, or medical discharge, right? And so, there is some disqualifiers that are involved with being eligible for this particular program, but do look that up. But then again, most of us, regardless if you have a disability rating or not, do qualify for this particular loan program. And the only thing you really need to do at this point is if you're retired or if you're a disabled vet, is go to e-benefits and then print out under documents, go print out the certificate of eligibility, which is what they call the acronym COE, and get that printed out. Take that over to your to your brokerage or your realtor and have yourself get pre-approved for a certain amount. That way, by the time you're looking for a home, or when you start looking for a home, you know exactly what your budget is, what type of home to look for, maybe demographically where you can look, and what it just helps to be able to get that pre-approval, utilizing your COE through e-benefits. And if you're not a disabled vet or if you're not a retiree, you can go to your local county VSO and have them help you assist you in getting a certificate of eligibility to take to your brokerage to be able to get a pre-approval. Okay, so that is how you get eligible to get into this VA home loan program. Now that being said, let's get into the advantages of the. Actually, before we get into the advantages, let's talk about what type of loans are available. And of course, that would be just like a conventional loan program. You can get into a fixed rate program, an adjustable rate program, and then refinancing. Okay, so you can do all three of those types of loan products through the VA. Of course, with the fixed rate programs, you can get them for 15 years or 30 years, depending on what type of home and the price of home that you're getting, right? And then you can actually get into an adjustable rate program, which I know is a sour note for a lot of people because of the 2008 crash and how that thing happened. But there are certain strategies that you can use to be able to get into higher priced homes using the adjustable rate program, and then refinancing it through, again, the VA with the IRRL program, the IRRRL program, which is, I always get this wrong, but it is the interest rate reduction and refinance loan program, which is IRRL. And so before your payments balloon, since you're already in a VA home loan program, you can refinance it through IRRL. And it's a great program. Matter of fact, I just did my IRRL not too long ago, and because my prime rate was based on a prime rate that was when I first purchased this home several years ago, and the new prime rates are extremely low, in the low twos. And so I just went through an IRRL program not too long ago. It was quick and easy. There's a lot of benefits for IRRL because they don't need income verification. There's no it's not going to be dependent on your credit or anything like that. And so the IRRL program is definitely a great sub benefit of this whole VA benefit, home loan benefit that you already have. Okay, so let's talk about the advantages of the VA home loan program. And number one is that it is a truly pure zero down payment program. It's not something that you have to come up with some creative way of using some sort of real estate strategy to be able to get into a home for no money down, right? A lot of times, especially if you're an investor, you get into investment properties with no money down through creative financing. And with this particular program, it's a pure zero down program from the start, right? From when you signed up for it, what it's actually designed for, and the benefit that it actually has is that you can get into your primary residence at a zero down payment. Okay. Number two is that you can have less than perfect credit to get prime rate. Now, again, with most conventional loans, you have to have like stunning credit, somewhere in the 760s, 80s, 800s to be able to get prime rate, right? With this particular program, you can be in the low sixes, mid sixes, even low sevens, right? Of course, low sevens gets you a pretty awesome rate, but not quite the best. But you can have, okay credit and qualify for a prime rate, which is whatever the lowest rate is offered at that time. Okay. Number three is that the VA actually permits you to qualify with a higher debt to income ratio, right? And that is a big factor that conventional loans look at, is how much residual income you have after paying your bills and the mortgage, and that you have to fall under a certain percentage rate. And with the VA, I think the magic number is, as long as you're at 41% debt to income, they will approve you for a home loan. So advantage number 4 goes into our previous advantage number 3, right? Which is that you do get a lower rate, and so it's lower than most conventional HUD FHA homes, where the prime rate might be at 3. For instance, right now the prime rate's at, like, for the VA it's at 2.2%, and this is at late 2020, December 2020, going into 2021. Whereas the prime rate outside of that is in the 3s, right, or 275 I've seen on conventional loan programs. So you do qualify for a lower rate, which means a lower monthly payment for your particular mortgage bill, right? And on top of that, you also get the VA restricts these lenders from charging you these designer fees that they do have sometimes, and which is basically the VA prohibits them from charging you attorney fees. They prohibit them from charging you real estate agent fees, a prepayment penalty if you decide to refinance with another company, or if you just pay off your loan early, right? You don't get a prepayment penalty that they can charge you in. And also, aside from that, is that they can't charge you VA and FHA inspection costs, and so that's something that they're going to have to eat on their end. Okay. Number 5 is actually a pretty nice one here, because with the VA home loan and with no money down, most conventional home loan programs require that you carry a primary mortgage insurance, right? And so if anything later on down the line, because they didn't get a down payment, or they got a low down payment, if the actual loan defaults, they're covered. In this case, the government covers you, because it is a government covered benefit or loan program that you're using. You don't have to have PMI. So whatever it costs, depending on the property value, whether it's $100 or $300, depending on how much your house is, it's one extra payment that you don't have to do, that you don't have to add onto your mortgage. When you talk about PITI, right? When you purchase homes, your principal, interest, your taxes, and insurance, your PMI, your primary mortgage insurance, falls under the I part of the PITI, which you don't have to worry about. Okay. Number 6 is that your house will meet extra VA loan safety standards. Like we were talking about in the beginning of the program, is when my wife and I was looking for a home, and the closet had like an added light where you had to pull on the string to turn it on. It was a no-go for him. Having a home that was really beautiful, but underneath some the power wires wasn't kosher, and wasn't a go for them as well. And in the long run, it worked out, because we ended up in a beautiful home that we all loved, that my whole family loved. And who knows? Maybe with some strong winds and recent fires in California, those power lines were actually a big factor. And so if your home was, they didn't let us purchase basically this dream home we had originally planned for, because it was underneath some power lines. And again, that is your number 6 advantage, where they won't let you get into a home that they don't feel, or they don't deem safe. Okay. And then number 7 is, again, like we talked about with Earl, you do have, flexible loan refinance options. they will work with you. The VA will work with you in giving you an opportunity to refinance your home loan once the market like hits a really good rate. Let's say I mean, at this point, like we were talking about, it's 2.2%, right, at prime. What if next year it becomes 2%, right, or it becomes 1.9% or 1.8%? The VA will permit you to earl into a new loan program, a new interest rate, right? So they're fairly flexible with that. Number 8 is that you can borrow more than most mortgage programs, and so especially here where I live, medium housing is between 500 and $1 million, right? Median housing prices are, and so there's no jumbo loan ceiling that they look at. At least as long as your income can provide, right? And so where, for example, most counties in the U.S. I think are capped at for a jumbo at $331,000, whereas the VA in most areas will give you up to $510,000 to be able to purchase your home. Okay, and maybe even more if you decide to put a little bit more of a down payment, or if you attach another loan to it, whatever that strategy is, right? So that's your number 8 advantage. Number 9 is you'll have access to mortgage relief, and this is really a great time and example where a lot of people are capitalizing who have VA home loans on mortgage relief, because the VA, they don't want you to default on your loan. They don't want you to foreclose on your house. And so if you run into trouble where for instance we're in this pandemic where you lose your job, or your job's on hold, or you're making less money, whatever the situation is, they will permit you to actually give them a call and figure something out where you can maybe defer some payments, or reduce the payments through earl or something, right? But they are pretty flexible with being able to help people not get foreclosed on, and so that as your number 9 advantage. Number 10 is your home loan can be assumed. I'm not going to get into what assumption of a loan is, but for instance, let's say you decide that this is that you want to move, or you're getting you're getting reassigned somewhere, or you're getting deployed somewhere, or you're changing duty stations or whatnot. Whatever the reason is, right? If you sell it to another VA recipient, they can just assume the loan. Okay, and so they get the benefits of your low interest rate, the benefits of in some cases the payments that you already made on the home, to be able to get into the house that you're in now, and for you to be able to get out of that loan and then again use another VA loan somewhere else wherever you're moving, right? So it is assumable, which is a great clause to have for any loan product, right? And then of course there is a limit on closing costs, and so again that goes back into where they can charge you these certain fees and add these designer loan fees to you because they say that they need it, right? From notaries and whatnot, right? They can't charge you for that. And then of course one thing that you can actually do with this particular loan is have when you're purchasing or looking for a home that you're buying, you can actually ask for the seller to pay the closing costs. Now again, it's up to the seller if they want to do that or not. If they have enough skin in the game where if they take a little bit out of the profit, they can do that. But for most markets, you can actually ask that the seller pay for closing costs. All right, guys. So that is your main advantages for a VA home loan. I know it was kind of long-winded there, but just to do a recap real quick, you don't have to pay a down payment for a VA home loan. Perfect credit is not required for a VA home loan. You may be approved with even if you have more debt than what usually a conventional loan program permits you to have, right? So you have that, and then you have you're paying a lower rate, and then there's lower cost involved in closing for the particular home. Okay, so you don't have to pay for these again designer fees. Okay, number 5 is there's no PMI, there's no private mortgage insurance required. That is again another added cost in your mortgage that you can take out, where you can save money that goes directly into your principal instead of an insurance that you might or might not need. Okay, your house that you're moving into, it's going to be, within the safety standards of the VA. So yes, it can be kind of a pain in the butt sometimes when looking for a home, but at least you know that when you land into a home that you actually like and that you get approved for, it's less worry. There's less capital expenses you have to worry about in terms of maintenance or some safety hazard that might happen later on. Okay, so you have that, and then so you're number 7. So you have you'll be able to have flexible refinance programs that the VA will permit you to do. Again, the Earl. Okay, you can borrow more than other mortgage programs. Usually, again, there's a cap on certain mortgage values based on your income, and then you can actually get a higher mortgage. You can borrow more with less income, basically. Number 9, you'll have access to more mortgage relief programs. Again, their primary goal is to keep you in a home, to get you into a home, and if you are facing foreclosure or difficulty, they are willing to help. And there are certain programs and credit counseling that they do offer for you to be able to get out of a jam, especially in this particular time that we're in. Your VA loan's also assumable, and so if you sell it to another VA benefit recipient, they can assume your loan, which is a great thing. And then again, there's a limit on closing costs, and of course, finally, you can opt for the seller to pay for your closing costs. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, or if you found today's episode valuable, please help and spread the word by sharing our link below. Also, please support our channel by hitting that like and subscribe buttons, as well as that bell notification buttons. So until next time, it's your boy Lee. I want you guys to be kind to yourselves, take action, create and inspire others. Bye-bye.